It's a Brent Woofy Radio Show.
Hey kids, it's time for the Brent and Woofy Radio Show. Radio for kids and family. So gather up the family, crank up the volume, get ready to have some fun, to laugh along, to sing along, and to use your imagination along with Brent and Woofy. Let's see what we discover today on the Brent and Woofy Radio Show. Now, here's your hosts, Brent and Woofy.
Hi, it's Brent on the Brent and Woofy Radio Show. And on the phone, all the way from California, we're speaking with Peter Alsop. Hi, Peter.
Hi, Brent. How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you today?
I'm good today. It's delightful down in sunny California, and there's a little bit of a cloud cover. It's fall, so it's kind of a peaceful time. It's nice.
Yes, it is starting to get chilly out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you guys...
So, I was going to say, we're calling because I finally sent you my Grow It at Home. I think we sent it to the wrong address, and you've heard my CD, and you were interested in some of the songs, which I'm delighted about. I'm so glad you like it.
That is correct, but I hold in my hand a brand new, fresh, right off the presses copy of Grow It at Home. What number CD is this of yours?
I think it's number 20.
Number 20? Wow! You must have started back in the days of cassettes.
Back in the days of discs, record albums.
LPs?
Yep, sure.
Wow. Okay.
Those really big CDs that kids remember that?
Yeah. So we've got Grow It at Home here, and this has 15 songs. What is this CD all about?
Well, it's about being local. You know, I've been a vegetarian for a number of years. I do eat I eat salmon, but that's the only animal that I eat. I eat that sometimes, but don't eat any other animals. And so I've been careful on the kind of food I eat, and I read labels and stuff. And then I realized I wasn't paying any attention to where the food comes from. And here I am in Southern California, and I'm by something that looks, these grapes look good, and they come all the way from Chile, which is thousands and thousands and thousands of miles away. And we're spending all this money on oil and then the gas to get that stuff here and all the refrigeration and everything. And it just doesn't make sense, particularly with the economic times being what they are, for us to not eat more locally. So I thought, I'm going to write a song about that. I also have fond memories of being in the garden with my grandparents and stuff like that. So this whole album is all the kids come into the garden with me, and we sing songs about peace and about different kinds of things that happen to folks and dreaming. And, there's just... we cover all the regular stuff, but it happens in my garden, and so a lot of it has to do with eating local food and trying to help build community and spend time with families. Just like growing food local, we grow kids locally too, don't we?
Of course we do. That's very true. What's your favorite vegetable that you grow?
Well, I like a lot of them. I don't know that I got a favorite one. Let me see, I like beets. I don't know whether you were heading toward that song or not. There's a song called Listen to the Beat, which is a song I wrote a long time ago, actually, for a program where they were trying to interest kids in schools into eating more vegetables. Because kids eat what their parents eat, pretty much, and if their parents haven't been introduced to a lot of vegetables and things, they just eat other stuff. And so the schools were trying to do this. I wrote this, what I thought was a really cool song for this album. It's called Listen to the Beat, but it was a contest, and so they used somebody else's song. But I think it's a good song, and I put it on this album.
And for you who are listening, saying listen to the beet is spelled B-E-E-T, as in a vegetable.
That's right.
All right, so right here on the Brent and Woofy Radio Show, speaking with Peter Alsop, let's listen to the beat. Here we go.
Now I'm the beat, so you know I'm sweet, and I'm gonna teach you the groove. When I say tap your feet, you go. When I say listen to the beat, you go. Mm-hmm. Tap your feet. Yeah, listen to the beat. Yeah, tap your feet. Now listen to the beat. All right, that's sweet. Well, I'm the beat, and you know I'm sweet, and together we're gonna move. Cause I'm a root, and we go down below. You can chew the beet greens above me. full of vitamin C's and some manganese and vitamin A. You're gonna love me, 'cause I'm the beat and you know I'm sweet. Now tap your feet and listen to the beat. Deep underground, I don't make a sound, I make sugar by the pound, 'cause I don't mess around. I grew up in my bed and I'm blood red. If you heard what I said, you can shake your head and tap your feet. Yeah, listen to the beat. When you're ready to eat, put the water on the heat. Pop me in for a swim in the pool. Gonna be your supper, eat me from a cup or cover me with butter if you're cool. Your tongue will be purple and you're probably gonna burp. I'll taste so sweet, you're gonna drool. 'Cause I'm the beat and you know I'm sweet. Tap your feet and listen to the beat. Then you put me in your mouth and you chew a little bit, and I get a little mushy with a little bit of spit. Not forced, of course, but I'm a folate source.
Hey, B, what's borscht?
What?
What's borscht?
Well, alright, okay. I'll give you the scoop. Wanna know about borscht? It's beet soup. You want borscht to be your fuel, then get another beat, 'cause I'm no fool. You can tell by its name, borscht is not cool. I'll be your friend, but don't leave me alone. You can put me in your pocket. You can take me home. We can hang it in your room and watch TV. We can stay up late, just you and me, with no shows about borscht.
So lots of people like to eat borscht when it's cold.
Really?
Yep.
Well, that's kind of cool. All right, then. Thank you. So I can take back what I said about borscht. Let's go. I can be borscht as long as it's cool. 'Cause I'm the beat and I'm cool and sweet. So don't you worry about a thing. We're gonna dance and sing. Just listen to the beat. Tap your feet. Yeah, listen to the beat. Tap your feet. I said listen to the beat. Yeah, tap your feet. That's all right. I could be borscht.
That's pretty weird.
That's nothing. I could tell you a story about something that happened to me a long time ago, but you probably wouldn't believe me.
We'll believe you. Yes, we would. Come on.
Okay.
You are listening to the Brent and Woofy Radio Show.
We're back on the Brent and Woofy Radio Show. We're speaking with Peter Alsop today. That was Listen to the Beat, one of 15 songs on his new CD called Grow It at Home. And one that stuck out in my mind is song number 12 called I Love My Family. There's nothing like family love, is there?
There certainly isn't. And I wrote that one because, I'm a psychologist. I don't know if you knew that, Brent, or not, but a lot of my songs, people like them because I write about songs about things that are going on in families. And as parents, kids don't have to go to school to learn how to be kids. They already know how to be kids. But us parents don't get to go to school to be parents. So we're figuring out as we go along sometimes. And we a lot of what we do is we learn stuff from our own parents. And I don't know about you as a grown-up, but if you think about your parents, there's probably some pretty nutty stuff your parents should do. What are you thinking? And I know there's kids in the audience right now that are thinking about their own parents going, what are you thinking, Mom?
Yeah, no kidding. Yes.
So I sort of played with the idea that everybody goes, my family's so embarrassing. Oh, my God. And so I sort of played with that in this song about you love your family even though they appear nuts to you. And then at the end of the song, you find out that, see, I'm starting to act like them.
Isn't that the truth? Wow. So let's spin that one. Let's have a listen to I Love My Family from Peter Alsop right here on the Brent and Woofy Radio Show.
I love my mom, she loves to shop. She's not a bunny, but she can hop. She wiggles her nose and shops her clothes. And she nibbles grass just to make me laugh.
I love my dad, sometimes he's cool. Fools around like the kids at school. At dinner he says,
Sit up straight. Now everybody lick your plate. Ha ha.
I love my family, but they don't seem a bit like me, 'cause they're as nutty
just like them.
I love my family.
I've inherited insanity. We have a nutty family tree. That's why I love my family. That's why I love my family. That's why I love my family.
My family recycles everything.
That's great. Our ocean is already overflowing with plastic bottles and plastic bags.
My dad brings our own bags to the market.
My mom does too, but she always forgets them in the car.
Mine too.
You are listening to the Brent and Woofy Radio Show.
We're back on the Brent and Woofy Radio Show, speaking from California, Peter Alsop today. And Peter, you've been entertaining kids and families for quite some time, haven't you?
It's been a long time. My very first album came out in 1975. It was a record album, as we talked about at the beginning of the show. That was my first album. It was, golly, what is that, 35, 40 years ago? So 36 years ago, I guess.
I can't count that high.
No. Even if you take off your shoes and use your toes and your fingers.
That's right. That's right, yeah. So that you've got a lot of CDs and a lot of fun doing this, but you always have a message in your songs, correct?
Well, I sort of figured that was important to do that. If people are going to take the time to sit and listen, that it would be nice to have them have some information to live their lives a little better when they're done than they did when they sat down,
Cool.
So they know a little bit more. And so I've made a living over the years playing at conferences for psychologists and teachers and funeral directors and doctors and nurses and you name it, And a lot of them use my songs to bring up different issues for foster parents and stuff like that, so that you can get stuff out on the table to talk about it. Because there aren't any real simple answers to a lot of these things. There's a lot of listening to different people's points of view, and then everybody sort of communally deciding how should we move ahead, And in my family, my dad made all the decisions, but when I grew up and had my own family, everybody got an equal vote. And I was going, wait a minute, I'm the dad. I'm supposed to be able to say, but actually it comes out better when the whole family gets votes, and we kind of decide. I might have a little bit more weight in my vote than the kids, but not much, I'll tell you.
Yeah, well, they are people. They are people too, aren't they?
Absolutely, and one of the things is they're pretty reasonable most of the time. Now, sometimes it's just clear that they want something and they can't have it. So, as a parent, you set a boundary.
Yes.
And all of this stuff is available from my website at peteralsop.com. And one of the things about the music business is now sometimes you can't go to a store to find this stuff, so you go online and you can go to Amazon or CD Baby or to my website at peteralsop.com, and you can find any of these songs or any of the albums. They're all up there.
Very cool. That's very cool. Let's talk about the song on the CD that you think gives the strongest message. Which one would you think is that?
One of the things that I think is really important, Grow It at Home, is the title cut of the song, which is really about local food. But I think the strongest message, and maybe we could have time to play both of them, I don't know whether we'll have time, but there's a song called Stick My Neck Out, because it's about how it's about a giraffe, actually. But what happens is there's things that go on in the world, and if we just figure, well, everybody else is taking care of that. And I want kids to know that if they speak up and say, and they're reasonable, and just say, well, what about this or what about that? How come we're doing it that way? That sometimes you need to stick your neck out and say it's not okay to hit other people,
Right.
And a lot of us know that, and a lot of parents teach that. And but it's important to speak up when we see something going on that's not okay.
Well, I certainly asked you for a strong message, and that is a strong message right there, for sure. And what was the second song you were speaking of?
Well, Stick My Neck Out. If you want to play that one, I'd love for them to hear it. And then the one after that is Grow It at Home, which is, it's not after it, but it's on the album, but it's about the local food, and the kids had a great time singing that one. And what I do, so I don't know whether when you play this, you've noticed, I make a little story so that we go from one song, and as soon as the song's over, the story continues, me and the kids in the garden talking about something, and then we go right into the next song. So I don't know when you're playing this whether it's going to be easy for you to jump around or not, but I'm sure you'll figure that one out, won't you?
Well, for sure. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll just play them as they are on the CD. Let's have a listen to number 7, Stick My Neck Out, and number 14, Grow It at Home, from Peter Alsop, from his Grow It at Home CD, right here on the Brent and Woofy Radio Show. Here we go.
Amy the giraffe stuck her neck up so high, she saw hungry lions hiding in a bush nearby. But Amy didn't tell her friends. She turned and ran away. Now she feels awful 'cause she acted that way. So Amy made a promise to speak up for little guys, even if it's scary for someone her size. So when Amy spots a carnivore, she does her thing. She sticks her neck out and starts to sing.
Gotta stick my neck out before it's too late. Gotta stick my neck out, go, 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 communicate. Gotta stick my neck out when my friends are in a bind. Gotta stick my neck out and say what's on my mind.
Come on, kids.
Gotta stick my neck out before it's too late. Gotta stick my neck out, go, 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 communicate. Gotta stick my neck out when my friends are in a bind. Gotta stick my neck out and say what's on my mind. We're all animals and we all need some help. We can sing out for the little ones who can't sing out for themselves. So instead of eating others, let's share this world with them. Stick your neck out just like me, be a vegetarian. Gotta stick my neck out to help a little friend. Gotta stick my neck out, be a vegetarian.
If you're a carnivore today,
well, tomorrow that might end. Gotta stick my neck out if I'm gonna help a friend.
now every kid knows when something doesn't feel right. We've been taught to keep our mouths shut and to keep out of sight. Sure, it's scary to speak up when you're the only one, but if we all sing together, we can get something done.
Gotta stick my neck out when something feels wrong. Gotta stick my neck out, gotta raise my voice in song. Gotta stick my neck out, not hanging in a bend. Gotta stick my neck out, get the violence to end. Gotta stick my neck out, there's injustice in the land. Gotta stick my neck out, it's time to take a stand. Gotta stick my neck out, not all crunched up and curled. Gotta stick my neck out if we're gonna save the world.
If we stick our necks out all together,
then we can save the world.
It can be scary to stick your neck out. Folks who do that are my heroes.
Girls can be heroines, you know.
Yeah, Amy's a girl.
It's true. And now I have to go. Nice to meet you all. Goodbye.
Bye, Amy.
She's so big. Was she really scared to stick her neck out?
It's scary when people don't agree with you.
I'm scared of snakes. I don't agree with them.
Moved to Ireland. St. Patrick got rid of all the snakes there.
But I like snakes. Did you have to get rid of every single one?
That's exactly what we were talking about. When us human beings feel scared, we want to get rid of everything that frightens us.
What's wrong with that?
Well, sometimes the things we're scared of aren't really so scary after we get to know them better.
You are listening to the Brent and Woofy Radio Show.
It's Brent on the Brent and Woofy Radio Show, speaking to Dr. Peter Alsop from California. And before we talk about you being a doctor, could you please tell me about the kids that are on your CD? Because every single one of your CDs that I have is packed full of kids. Where do you get them from?
I kind of find them around the neighborhood. When my kids were really little, when my first daughter Megan was really little, she was 3 years old, maybe 4 years old, and we would be talking about something, and all of a sudden another little kid, a 6-year-old, would walk in the room, and all of a sudden she didn't want to listen to anything I said. All she wanted to do was pay attention to this other little kid.
Right.
And I thought, well, I could be all hurt about that. It's my daughter. She doesn't care about me anymore. And then I realized, wait a minute, this is a great idea. Kids love listening to other kids sing. So I got all the kids in the neighborhood, and I rounded them up. And I did this on all my albums. And sometimes parents would say, well, my child doesn't sing very well. I go, I don't care if they sound beautiful. I want them. It's the kid voice that's important, and the kids need to be having fun. So all my albums, I use non-professional kids singing on them. Now, the only problem I ran into that when I had kids that were too young and it was really way off pitch.
Right.
I have to bring in a couple older kids to kind of help balance some of the off-pitch singing. But kids never complain that song doesn't sound good. They love the joy, the innate joy, and the messages in the song and the singableness of them. So I just get local kids.
That's perfect. So you really do grow it at home, don't you?
Well, I think we all do, and that besides just the food, I'm thinking about our children. You know that we all grow locally in our own houses, and so an awful lot of what that has to do with is just like we need to any other kind of garden thing is you need to water stuff and make sure they got soil that has nutrients in it, so that the plants can grow up rich and strong. The kids need to have grown-ups around who have healthy behaviors themselves. You know, I mean, my mom used to smoke, and even though, and that was way back before people were talking about how smoking wasn't good for you, smoking cigarettes wasn't good for you, and so I remember I tried it because she did it. You know,
yeah.
And so fortunately now a lot fewer people I think are smoking, and we get the message out. It doesn't keep some young teenagers from smoking. I see them on the streets and I'm going, oh, you guys, what are you doing? You already know that's not healthy for you. You know, so there's a song called Roots and Wings, which is about parents and how parents really help us, which I like, and that's the last song on the album. That maybe they'd like to hear that one.
I think we will play that one, but just before we get to that one, you are a doctor, right?
I've got a doctorate in educational psychology. Yes, I do. And I've made a living going out and talking to, as I said, to teachers and people about how to, you know, work with kids, and a lot of it has to do with just showing up and being present and witnessing kids and not forcing them into some mold that we think that they ought to come up in. You know, the word educate comes from the Latin word educare, which means to nourish and draw out. So, like, you know, if I have a kid and I should water the garden, I can water the kid, and then I need to love what comes up, not try to force them to be like me,
right,
or force them to be like somebody else that I want them to be. You know.
That's right, because like I mentioned earlier, they are people too.
You can't make a celery turn out to be an artichoke, can you?
No matter how hard you try. All right, well, let's have a listen to Roots and Wings here on the Brent and Woofy Radio Show from Peter Alsop.
Roots grow down into the ground, wings they fly up high. Roots and wings are things we need to help kids get by. Everybody. Roots grow down into the ground, wings they fly up high. Roots and wings are things we need to help kids get by. Plants grow roots to reach the water way down below. Strong roots help them hang on tight when the cold winds blow. Roots grow down into the ground, wings they fly up high. Roots and wings are things we need to help kids get by. Now birds use wings to leave the nest when it's time to fly. It's scary, but they've seen their parents sail through the sky. Roots grow down into the ground, wings they fly up high. Roots and wings are things we need to help kids get by. Okay. Grown-ups have both roots and wings, we share them with our kids. Let's get ourselves in balance, then we'll all have more to give. Roots grow down into the ground, wings they fly up high. Roots and wings are things we need to help kids get by. Yes, roots grow down into the ground, wings they fly up high. Roots and wings are things we need to help kids get by. That's it, kids. Next week, we can harvest some of this great food.
No bananas?
No bananas.
That's okay. I don't like bananas.
Okay. Bye for now.
You're listening to the Brent and Woofy Radio Show.
We're back on the Brent and Woofy Radio Show, talking to Peter Alsop today. And Peter, I want to say thank you very, very much for coming on the radio show and telling us about your songs and your life. And what's coming up next? You got more songs you're going to be recording?
Well, actually, at the same time I recorded Grow It at Home, I did a song for grown-ups. I used to play at the Vancouver Folk Festival a lot, because you're up in that neck of the woods, aren't you?
Yes.
Near Vancouver, and I did a lot of songs for adults. I had 5 albums out for grown-ups before I started doing kids songs. And this one was called, when I released them at the same time, it's called Disciples of Perfection. But a lot of it has to do with different kinds of things that we're doing in the world that feel out of balance. You know, no matter what side of the political spectrum you're on, there's things that feel out of balance. And just like nature, and like we're talking about growing plants and growing kids, keeping things in some sort of balance makes some sense to me. And like I just wrote a song called about fracking, which is where they take oil and they add, water, and they add stuff to the water and they force it into the ground and force oil out so they can get oil. Yet a lot of times it's ruining the water around for the people to drink and the animals to drink, and that feels out of balance to me. So I try to write funny songs about this stuff, so just to get this stuff up on the table so people can talk about it and try to figure out new and better ways to do things if something's not working so well.
Now, those songs for adults, can they find those at peteralsop.com?
They sure can, and there's the last one's called Disciples of Perfection. It's got some great songs on it, and I really appreciate you having me on your show too, Brent. I thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's one of these things that when you're doing it by yourself here and putting out your own CDs on your own record label, it's hard to get the word out. So I sure appreciate you supporting independent artists and songwriters.
Well, you're welcome, and that's something that I'll always do. Always, always, always. And thank you so much for coming on today. And like I said, people, if you want to get a hold of Peter or listen to his music, get his CDs, give us your website address one more time, Peter. It's
www.peteralsop, spelled PeterAlsop.com.
All right. And if you're driving the car right now, or you have, like me, and forget things, why don't you just visit the Brent and Woofy website, and we'll have a link over to Peter's website from there.
Thank you.
No problem. Thanks a lot, Peter. Say goodbye.
Good to talk to you. Say hi to Woofy for me.
Oh, I was just going to say, can you say hi to Woofy? We'll just bring him in here.
Oh, Woofy's there.
Yeah.
Hi, Woofy.
I've been listening. Hiya, Peter. Nice to talk to you again.
I thought you were on vacation. That's why I was just talking to Brent. So you're not. You're there. I didn't know you were there. It's good to hear your voice.
Well, I was just outside checking on the tomato plants.
Well, that's great. Are they okay?
Oh, yeah, they're turning red and juicy.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, we have to go now.
Say goodbye, Woofy.
Goodbye, Woofy.
Say goodbye, Peter.
Goodbye, Peter.
All right, thanks, Peter.
Okay, bye-bye.
That's the end of the show, but now we've got to go. Say bye, bye, bye. We sure had some fun, but now we've got to run. Say bye, bye, bye. We're Brent and Woofy of the radio show. We sure had fun, but we've got to go. Say bye, 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 bye.
The Brent and Woofy Radio Show was written, directed, produced, and recorded by Brent Lindsay Beeler. Brent and Woofy performed by Brent Lindsay Beeler. The Brent and Woofy Radio Show theme song provided by Brent and Woofy from the CD Under a Star, entitled It Is What It Is. For more information, visit www.bbshows.ca or Google Brent and Woofy. This is Scott McLeod, and this has been a production of Brent Beeler Shows. Copyright 2011.